Hey guys, and welcome to another Desktop Philosophy. Today we're going to be talking about morality and evil. What is evil? Is anything truly, purely, entirely evil? Well, that all depends on morality. Anything that is evil is inherently amoral. It is against amorality. That is to say, it makes some contradiction with a pre-existing set-up morality. The more extreme the contradiction, the more evil the circumstances leading up to that contradiction are said to be. Now, morality is entirely subjective. Now, there are those who would make the argument that there is an objective human morality, but that is simply not true. Now, there are religious laws and rules and codes set up that could be considered an objective morality. While there's absolutely nothing wrong with agreeing wholeheartedly in these objectively set up religious codes, nothing inherently gives them any more objective validity than any other, subjective moral codes that are entirely unique to other individuals. Now, there are common moralities amongst groups of people and even amongst a large majority of living human beings. But the majority of these are simply coincidental and actually, by reverse logic, in fact necessary. For example, most living people live by the morality of continuing to live, or else they would be dead, because they didn't live by the morality of keeping themselves alive. They lived by some other morality, which would eventually come to some crossing point where it would conflict with their own life and they would end up dying. And moralities are most often learned socially, so your parents' morality is often what is passed on to you, with the exception of angsty rebellion, of course. And so in the majority of cases, most people have the morality of the propagation of life impressed upon them, because obviously if their parents had a child and raised it, they would pass on the morality of continuing that, propagation of life morality. They would continue to pass on to their children the idea that it is good to have children and, propagate human life. Because, of course, if they didn't do that, then they wouldn't have children who had children, and their line would end, and so there would end the morality of not having children. And once again, none of this makes any of these moralities any more objectively correct than others. They just happen to be common subjectively imbibed moralities in the majority of human beings. And so if there is no objective morality, then there can't be any objective evil either. And so in fact, absolutely nothing can be objectively evil. It is possible, for example, for a person whose morality consists entirely of death and the ending of life, and certainly not the propagation and continuation and perpetuation of life. There is nothing objectively wrong with these moralities. They simply usually end up by the natural selection of concepts, ideas, and passed down moralities, obviously, like dying. Their lineage ends because of the simple idea that if they don't believe in having children, they won't have any children to pass that idea and belief of not having children onto. That being said, they are in fact evil to somebody who lives by the morality of having children. But they're subjectively evil. They're not objectively evil. They're evil to the person who believes that you should have children. And if they hold that morality above all else, then that person who believes that you shouldn't have children is evil over all else. But if they hold other moralities first, then that person isn't nearly as evil as someone who contradicts the moralities they hold most dearly. And so, in summary, there are no truly objectively correct moralities and truly evil moralities or people either, or actions either. There are only moralities which tend to, and by nature of themselves, lead to their own propagation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to make it shorter and, have a little bit more interesting visual with the Agar sped up. And if you did like it more, then please let me know in the comments. Or if you didn't, then say something in the comments too. And like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it. That's what it's there for. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching and have a thoughtful day.